Hello and welcome to BackToCoding. In the previous video we saw hash map in Kotlin. In this video we will see set in Kotlin. Set is a generic unordered collection of elements. It does not support duplicate elements. So in the cases where you want to ensure that elements doesn't repeat itself or should be unique and order of your elements is not an important thing, then you should go for sets in Kotlin. Methods in this interface support only read-only access to the set. Also, this interface is immutable in nature, and if you want read-write access to the set, then you should go for mutable set interface. You can declare a set using the set of function. Let's see it practically. This is how we declare a set using set of function. Now let's print them. And here it has printed our set of friends' names. We can also have a set of any types like a combination of int, string, etc. And it has updated our set with integers. Also, let's see if our set allows duplicate entries. Here we have repeated the element 6 twice in our set. Let's run it to see if it allows duplicate entries. And as you can see here in the output, 6 is not repeated even though we have added it twice. So it means it doesn't allow duplicate entries in the set interface. Also, similar to lists and map, which we have discussed in our earlier videos, we have functions in set interface as well. Here is the list of some of the functions available in the set interface and the ones which we are going to see it practically. Contains function is used for checking if the given element is present in the set or not, whereas a contains all function checks if the given collection of elements is present in the set or not. Both the functions return true if it is present, else they return false. Let's see them practically. Let's see if our friend's set contains Bhavesh. And it has returned true. Let's change the name with lowercase characters and see if it finds it. And it has returned false. So it tells us that it is case sensitive. Now let's see if our friend's set contains the company names. And of course it doesn't, since company's names is completely different from friends' names. So let's make some changes to our code and see what happens. Now it still returned false, since all the elements of the set company's names 2 aren't included in the company's names 1 set. Now let's include all the names of company's name 2 set into company's names 1 set and see what output it returns. And yes, it has returned true. IsEmpty and IsNotEmpty functions are completely opposite of each other. IsEmpty function checks if the current set doesn't have any elements in it. That is, if it is empty, then it returns true, else it returns false. And in is not empty, as you might have guessed, it returns true if it is not empty, else it returns false. Let's see it practically. As you can see here, since friends names set is not empty, it has returned true, and in the case of isEmpty function, it has returned false. The draw function returns a list containing all the elements except the first n elements of our set. To better understand it, let's see it practically. As you can see here, it has dropped the first two elements of our friend's name set and has returned the rest. And similarly, it has dropped the first four elements from the company's names one set and has returned the rest. Element at and element at or null, both of these functions do the same job of returning the element at given index position. The only difference is that element at or null function returns null in the case where the element is not present at that index position, whereas in the case of element at function, it throws an index out of bounds exception. Here both of these functions have returned the elements from their respective indexes. Make a note that indexes starts with 0. Now let's check for indexes out of our range. And here for element at function has returned index out of bounds exception since there's no element at index 5. Let's change it. And as you can see here, for element at or null function, it has returned null since index position 8 doesn't exist. That's it for this video. Please give it a like and comment down your thoughts below. Don't forget to check my other videos which can be helpful to you. Let's see if our friends set contains Bhavesh. Let's see if our friends set